In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name is Al, and I'm your DM today. With me are Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Daria, Sophie, and Ida. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henrietta. I'm from Norway, and I play Mealy, a moon elf wizard.
Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Laura?
Hi, from Germany, and I play Byleth, a tiefling wizard.
Daria?
Hi, I'm Daria. I'm from Poland and I play a tiefling sorcerer named Zenis.
Sophie?
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from Wales and I play a human wizard named Charlotte.
And Ida?
Hi, I'm Ida. I'm from Sweden and I play Lilith, a wood elf cleric.
Excellent. All right, take it away.
Yes. So we start off in the old prisons, where the tieflings are held, and they are under the Gesh spell. Not since their enslavement had they had this little autonomy. The elder, Onana, feels bad for the tieflings. She and Lollipop are the ones under the spell. They would suffer when the tieflings would do anything against the Zentrum's will. So Byleth talks to her about dismissing the spell. She tells us that there's a place where magic is stored. Certain powerful artifacts are stored in a museum. Charlotte knows that she was talking about the wizard's guild cloak and Stars of Neverwinter, or the Many-Starred Cloak. Onana notices that Byleth looks like an unusual tiefling. She can tell more about the tiefling origin if Byleth is interested. She talks to Zenise, and they are more similar, but also not the same. The tieflings held prisoner are the last of the descendants of the great gods. Zenise is of fiendish origin. Onana feels terribly bad because she's under the spell. And the other tieflings obviously don't want to kill her and Lollipop. And also they don't know what they would do if they were free. We try to think of a solution and make ourselves cozy in the hut, and Onana and Lollipop join us. We think about how to get out of the prison. And we come up with the plan that when the sun goes up, the prisoner tieflings can go to the yard. Maybe they could make a distraction. Nana could fake an injury while we sneak out. So we also think about the Gesh spell that Sulfura casted, and the spell might also be disrupted if Sulfura were unconscious, but they're not certain. We also tell them that the army outside is friendly to them. Having faced prejudices all their lives, they are uncertain about when to flee or who is friendly to them. We also are worried that the army will get reckless when not attacking soon. They would be forced to fight each other. Byleth talks to Zenise about locating a remove curse scroll, which would dismiss the Gesh spell. She can cast it after we left the prison. So we discuss our plan and we consider paying Jet to get us to the wizard tower. Charlotte writes him on a paper bird. We need to get out of the tower. No, we need to get to the tower of the Many-Starred Cloak, please. And Jet answers, not easy to do, but best at night. If daytime excursion, triple cost. Meet me outside at our original departure point. So we get out using the distraction in the daytime through the sewers. And all the guards are otherwise distracted. Very nice. Jet arrives at night in a very big cart. So he puts us in sacks and covers us with the bales of hay. He has got to deal with the guards, and he will get us to the checkpoint and to the tower. So, the cart sets in motion and we make our way. At some point, the cart stops. There's a conversation going on that gets a bit louder. The next thing we know, Zenise gets poked, but she keeps her poker face. We continue on a ride and we eventually arrive at a destination, the Wizard's Tower. Jet thinks there's a secret passcode to get in. Only gifted ones can enter. Charlotte faintly remembers how Agamemnon's simulacrum entered, but not the details. So after a bit of thinking, Charlotte puts her hand on the wall and says, "Agamemnon's Scourge." And the door opens and we step inside. We come into a room and the door comes to life. It says, "The tower is currently unoccupied. Assistants have limited authority. We can start searching in the library." Zenise casts Locate Object, and she sees a scroll in the room. We are a bit scared, though, that something's casted on it, so we go as far away as possible. Charlotte casts Detect Magic, and there's a Glove of Warding spell on it. Aha! Byleth spells it. So we go into the guest room to copy the spell. It is very cozy and very nice. So under the bed there are drawers. Millie puts her hand in the drawer and she retrieves a bundle. It includes a purple cloak and a generic sleepwear. Every person gets a bundle. Yay!
Yay! Well done.
Woohoo!
Sleepover.
So cozy.
Yes. The tower, although it is stone and looks rather forbidding and unwelcoming, is actually magically, environmentally protected so that each of you has a localized comfort zone, a little bit like your tiny hut. So around each of your beds, although the tiny hut provides full protection, this aura doesn't. As I said, it does minimize incoming sound so that loud sounds sound like a muffle, but it also magically understands if you're trying to have a conversation with somebody else in another part of the room deliberately, then it no longer muffles that sound. It also has the ability to locally control the temperature so that each of you feels very comfortable. Tieflings, being fire resistant, may prefer slightly warmer temperatures, whilst some of the rest of you might prefer or slightly cooler temperatures. Some of you might prefer something a little bit warmer, and each of you has sort of a local preference. And the center area is a bit more communal, so it's set to a standard consistent with humans and their preferences. And you do have matching little cloaks that have sort of the moniker of the tower. It's not the full cloak, but as we discussed last time, it might pass visual inspection for the uninitiated or a lay person. Certainly, if you ask if you can try to pull a deception off, I'm always going to say, well, you can always try. And you have, did you guys actually go to sleep, or you guys were just sort of snuggling up and getting ready for your slumber party?
I'm pretty sure we long rested. Yes.
Okay, all right, okay.
think.
Fair enough.
Was I able to long rest too, since I had to copy the spell?
How long did it take you to do that? Was it 2 hours, 4 hours,
I
5
think
hours, 6 hours?
6 hours.
Oh, well, you
To
can. It just means that you guys have to stay in. You guys are going to be tied up for a good. You need 6 hours of sleep, and then 2 hours of the 8 hours you can do other things. So in theory, you could be copying your spell book, copying spells into your spell book for a few more hours. So you'll lose about a half a day approximately.
Mhm. I
Um,
think, I mean, I also have to ready it, so I think I would
ooh,
need the rest.
yes. Well, you can copy first and
Mhm.
then rest. So yeah.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay. But you guys will be there for a whole sort of half a day basically. Just like sleeping in like teenagers.
If we long rest, then I will change some stuff.
Okay. Is everybody okay with that, or?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't mind.
Okay. While she's copying that spell, does anybody else want to do anything? Because you're going to be there for a good half a day
I kind
in
of
your
want
own
to
time.
copy levitate from someone. Just because I feel like every time we do some kind of climbing exercise, something always goes wrong. So I think it would be good to have just in case.
Which is exactly why I gave you guys a pair of boots of levitation. Everybody turned their noses up at them. Doc Martens with balloons. Ugh. Gross. So unladylike.
So if
Holy-
it's okay, I'd like to take 100 GP from our funds.
Well, that's fine, except who are you copying it from?
Byleth.
Yeah,
don't have
she's
it.
she's not got it, and she's also using her
What?
spell book to do something else.
I thought you had
Yeah.
levitate.
I had it, but
No.
then I changed it out.
Oh.
She took advantage of my specific rule that allows you to swap things out. So it's not
Oh
like
no.
she. So yeah, so we actually have to kind of keep track of stuff like that. If you guys, one
Mhm.
person copies it and somebody decides they want to take advantage of it to get rid of something, we technically would have to retcon the other person having lost it as well.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Instead, I'll
True.
just she'll just dream about flying.
Okay, cool. Yes, so you've got you're getting your spell done. Any other spells anybody else wants to try to copy from anybody? You've got 2 other wizards, and in theory, I guess Byleth, when she's sleeping, could lend her spell book out to somebody else to copy if they're on a different sleep schedule,
Sure.
assuming there's actually something to copy. Anyone? Anyone?
I'm good.
Bueller? You're good? Okay. I'd say you're more like chaotic neutral, really, but
Yeah, well, I'm true neutral. Thank you very much. Well, Charlotte is. I'm definitely chaotic neutral.
in real life, I think you're chaotic neutral.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, Violet, do your
Uh-huh. Um, I want to
it's kind of
change
like your
out.
it's like kind of like women's face mask pre-sleep ritual, isn't it? With like the whole avocado and whatever else, and
It's a lot.
creams.
Yeah. Um, huh. I think I want to change out web for remove curse, and I wanna learn the word. I don't know if there is something like that, probably, but to be, like, is, you know.
Oh, the verb to be.
Mhm.
That's a little hard. Because there is a version for every person. Like me, you, he, she. Everything is different.
Oh no.
I'll
Huh.
in the case. Okay, so as yeah, so I'll allow conjugations for verbs to be one word. So you can teach her the phrase. It'll be down to Laura to remember it and write it down as one of the sessions.
Mhm.
So
Okay. To be.
go ahead and conjugate it with the proper pronoun, if you would, or the relevant
scared.
pronouns.
So to be is bitch.
What?
Bitch.
Okay,
And
I think
if
I
you
know
say
that.
I am, ja jestem, you, it's jesteś. So,
Oh god. Write it down. Then I can
Okay.
copy it and study it.
And if you've just tuned in to Daria's Learn to Speak Polish in 10 Easy Lessons class, we are conjugating the verbs today.
Mhm.
It'd be funny if we actually get a cross reference somewhere between this and a linguistics channel or something, or a hashtag Polish for everyone. Cool. Yeah. Are you going to pronounce the rest of them for us, Daria, so we actually can hear how interesting they sound and how much like certain bad words in English they sound like?
Just a second. It's just jestem, jesteś. It's a different ending.
Okay. Well, that doesn't seem that complicated. Not like French, right, Yvonne?
I think English is probably the
Mhm.
worst.
No. I am. You are.
Jestem,
He
jesteś,
is.
jest. Jesteśmy, jesteście, są.
We are.
Okay.
They are.
Just a
You
different
are.
ending.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think French is more complicated. French,
It's
Spanish, and Italian.
doable. Thank you.
That's
And
kind of
then
same.
I will roll my portent.
Yeah, it is kind of same, isn't it? It's got a very romanticized kind of construction. Romantic language construction. Okay, cool.
Oh.
Oh,
2.
sorry. What?
Oh, okay. 10 and 4
Oh, your
for my
portents.
portent. Yeah.
Well, the 4s might be useful.
Mm,
10 is very average.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. What else you guys doing?
I'm gonna do the good berry and hand out 2 to everyone.
Yes. And who is keeping their good berries with their familiars or pets or etc. Besides, obviously, Byleth? So does Byleth have both good berries with Ivy, or is it just the one and then one on her person?
I don't have Ivy right now, I think. But so I would have 2 for me.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Okay.
Also, I'm casting Mage Armor.
Ooh.
Just in case.
Okay. All right. And Mia Lee as well? No.
No, my spider doesn't have a harness or anything, so I'm afraid if he has it in his mouth, he's gonna eat it.
Your spider would eat a good berry?
Why not?
Well, you tell it not to, and it has to listen to you because it's your slave.
No, I can have it
You
on my
have much to
person.
learn.
Well, just remember your familiar does have its own action economy, so you're basically getting an extra action. You're basically getting a free healing word effectively in combat if you have your familiar carry it rather than you have to use it yourself.
Yeah, fine, he can have one. I can tape it on his back. And he can use his legs to get it free.
Yeah, use a little bit of spider silk and
Yeah.
attach it to his back like a backpack,
Mhm.
Goodberry backpack. And worst
Cute.
case to worst, they just climb into somebody's mouth and then they just like die in the mouth and the Goodberry explodes. And you wake up with a combination of both berry goodness and a little bit of weird sour acidy crunchiness from the spider. All right. Anybody else want to do anything?
I'm still reading Dahlia's journal at night
Oh,
when the others
excellent.
are sleeping.
What's an interesting section that Mealy has discovered?
I think she's kind of in the dinosaur race again, going back to that chapter.
Oh yes, fan favorite.
Yeah, reading about Mad Honker? No,
Big honker.
Big Honker and Mad Skills.
Mad skills.
Yeah.
That was a special moment.
Yeah.
Especially winning the race, especially the way you guys won it. The big reveal about the whole race fixing scandal. You guys really did do a number on poor old Portnine Zaru. It'll never be the same again. Okay, good. Right. What else are we doing? Anybody else doing anything?
Sleeping.
Okay. You're
Like
done.
A lot. Yeah,
You
it's
woke
great.
up.
I woke up.
You feel amazing. You haven't felt this energetic since probably before you joined these people. The localized environment around each of the beds magically helps induce an extremely sound and restful sleep. As far as you know, it's genuine, but it's magic, so you never know. It could just wear off. But even those of you who have sleep apnea or suffer from insomnia or other sleep deprivation issues, you don't suffer from that tonight. Nobody gets up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. In fact, you don't even know where the bathroom is, or the toilet, rather. So
Magic
Yep.
diapers.
presumably there's a privy closet someplace, but you might have to go find it. Can you imagine if the privy closet required you to like say the word of the person and you forgot the person's name and you're like, Ajax Scorch, Aeschylus Scorch. Okay.
No comment.
Yeah.
So
I
are
don't
we
wanna
heading back
introduce-
to the tieflings, or are we exploring like the rest of this? Wasn't there like another room we haven't checked out in this place, or am I misremembering?
I think so.
Wasn't it the main meeting room? Or
Oh.
is that where we started from?
No, you basically entered the foyer.
Okay.
Do you want to check out the meeting room then?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Door, take us to the meeting room, please.
And the DM says, wait a second. I'm on a different
Oh,
page.
no.
Where's the meeting room? It kind of looks at you. The head appears out of the wall as before. Ah,
Did that door just yawn?
yep. Get tired too, you know. Doors are people too.
Right. Well, I think the
Meeting
wizards who
room
created this thing are very strange.
Meeting room function. Oh, that's the library. Oops.
Stupid door.
Oh, so mean.
Oh.
Ooh, lovely.
There are a number of chairs, obviously, and each chair is it surrounds this round table, but the table itself also has a specific sort of cubby section for each chair, so it's not just a flat table. In front of each chair, there's a little carved area. There's places for what appear to be parchment, quill, pens, which are not attached by chain to the desk. So in theory, if somebody wanted to steal something or take something, they could. There's a pot of ink in front. There also seems to be something that looks like a large flask or glass on the left-hand side, and what appears to be an empty plate, a small empty plate in front of each table seat.
Oh, I could eat.
The little fire pit that you've had in the rooms, in this particular room, seems to dance more brightly. And occasionally you see images float around it as if they were, as if light were being projected onto mist or smoke. You sense that this is not just a fire pit, or at least not just a fire pit in this room, and that may have alternative uses.
Well, what do you suppose the plates are for? Just eating?
Can you command some food?
Let's try. Give me cheese.
And as you sit down and you say the words, a small wedge of cheese appears. It looks to be some sort of hard cheese or semi-hard cheese, like a cheddar,
Oh my god, it actually worked.
and a small knife.
Cracker, are you a secret genius?
Just know I'm hungry. Rack of lamb.
And 3 ribs of lamb appear with a knife and fork and a napkin.
Now that's a hearty breakfast.
Does Cracker eat the lamb meat and the bones?
I don't know. I leave the bones, but I do like spend some time getting all the flavor off. And it's not quiet.
Oh no. How does it sound? You all revile in disgust as you listen to Cracker sucking the marrow out of the rib bones.
Mm-mm.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna say a magical cloak of defense. And I'm gonna wait.
And at first, nothing happens. And then there's like a strange sizzle and pop on your plate. And suddenly you see what appears to be a large pancake in the shape and color of one of the purple cloaks that you guys were wearing upstairs in your bedroom.
Eh, good enough. And I start eating.
And it has some fresh fruit on it.
Must be some cuisine I've never heard of.
Probably. Had to try.
Yeah. Like I gotta get a magical cloak of defense that easily.
No.
I'm also gonna sit down and say I want some pancakes, please.
And you get a massive stack of pancakes. There's 12 pancakes. They're arranged in 3 different stacks of 4 each. 4 of them are just plain pancakes. And there's a little pot of syrup that appears next to the plate. Fork and knife and napkin as well. Then there's another stack that just has chocolate chips in the pancakes, and another stack that has a mix of blueberries and raspberries in them.
Mm.
You all gain 1,500 calories.
I only had a bite of cheese.
It's very, very filling cheese.
Oh no.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna sit down and some scrambled eggs and bread, please.
The bread comes perfectly toasted, and the scrambled eggs sit atop them. It's a very generous portion. It's obviously been mixed in with a little bit of herbs. Some green bits are floating around on the outside. It smells delicious, and you think there might even be a little cheese mixed in with the eggs just to give it a little extra oomph and flavor.
Thanks.
I'd like some yogurt, please.
Oh no.
And a cow appears.
What?
And a small pot of yogurt, a very dainty small pot of yogurt with a side of fresh berries appears, and a teaspoon.
Just how I like it.
The cow goes, moo.
I pet the cow.
The cow disappears.
No, my friend.
Now that you've all had your fill, the meals are very filling. They will fill you up for the entire day. You won't feel the need to eat again. You may, of course, you're not restricted from eating, but you feel like this will cover your requirements for sustenance for the entire day of adventuring.
So should we go back to the prison?
Can I look at the fire pit first
Sure.
to see if it's possible to use that in a way?
Sure.
Because of all of the images, it feels like maybe you can use that for transportation.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? The images are fleeting. Sometimes they seem to be faces, but they're not faces of people you recognize. And they're usually faces that are very, very briefly there and then gone. Sometimes they seem to be scenes from a location. They may include people, and sometimes they're not. Occasionally, they just seem to be large panoramic scenes of the wilderness or a castle or parts of a coastline. It's very, very fleeting. And occasionally you just see sky and clouds or weather or even the ocean. It's clear that these are images not necessarily local.
Can I say, show me the old prison? Or I'm gonna say, show me the old prison, please. And see if something is happening.
And you see an image of the building that you were in before, as if it's taken from somewhere in the sky, but not miles above it. It's more like, maybe 30 feet above the prison.
I'm gonna look at the party and be like, do you see this? Do you think we can use this in some way?
What time of day is it? It's morning?
Well, I mean, you guys, what time did you get there? Didn't you guys get there during the day?
Night.
You guys got there at night, so it should be afternoon now because you guys have been messing around and then you took a long rest and then you had to wait. Well, some of you took your long rest earlier, some of you took your long rest later, but you ended up waiting for Byleth to copy the spell. So it's been at least 12 to 14 hours since you arrived. More like 15 with the messing around with the library and everything else.
Can you show me Lord Vidar?
When you say this, the orb, the fireplace, which now you realize also has an orb in it, turns completely black and then just sort of grays out, and all you see are impenetrable, swirling, dark gray mists.
That bastard has some protection.
Show me Agamemnon Scorch.
At this point, it starts to crackle, which you've not seen before. Little flares of electricity spark outward, causing a bit of concern for anybody sitting a bit too close. It almost seems like it's struggling to find the image. And then the next thing you know, you see the face of Agamemnon Scorch, which you all know now because you've seen the simulacrum, or at least one or more simulacra, writhing in what appears to be agony, eyes closed, mouth open. You don't hear any sound, but you haven't heard any sound so far from any of the other previous images either. But it seems as if he's being racked in pain. There's sweat pouring down his face. His hair is matted to his forehead. It looks as if he's screaming out loud, and you can see the veins in his forehead are pumping and bulging, and the muscles and tendons in his neck are straining. And then it goes black again.
What the hell? What was happening to him? Where is he? Do I know if it was the orb doing that?
You can roll an Arcana check.
Yeah,
What'd you get?
10.
You're not really sure. Your sense is that this is some sort of a scrying magical orb as opposed to something that interacts with the environment that it's showing you.
Right. Okay. I'll say, show me Agamemnon Scorch again.
And this time it's dark gray swirling mists.
Damn it.
You suspect there may be a limitation on how many times you can use it to do the same thing.
Oh. Shit. We have to find him. He's being tortured or something.
He's been missing a long time.
Do we even know where he is? I think the journal mentioned something about his last trip was to the abyss or something.
I absolutely have no idea where he could be. I only know he was researching interdimensional travel and portals and such. He could quite literally be anywhere.
Maybe first things first, we remove the curse on the tieflings. And then, well, we are getting into the Underdark again. There's some portals there. Demons coming through. You can try one of those if you want to.
I'd like to at least check to see if there are any clues there. Charlotte looks shaken and super worried.
But I guess we should go back to the tieflings first.
Yeah, let's
Deal
go
with
back
this first.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna look at the door and be like, "Can you take us to the main entrance, please?"
And the mouth comes back and it says main entrance function.
Thank you.
So we are now at the high-end side of the city, and we need to go back to the poor side. So we need to go through one of the checkpoints again.
Yes.
Mm. True.
Can we use the cloaks?
Probably.
I'm gonna put my purple cloak on me.
And I don't think they're too worried about people going into the poor part. It's more the other way around that they're focused on. I would believe. Keeping in the riffraff out.
Spoken like a true classist.
But it's true.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Undesirables.
Yeah. But if we put on the cloaks, at least it seems like we have friends in high places.
All right. Cracker puts the cloak on. Do I look like a student here?
So, unlike the tower itself, which seems capable of personalizing the experience to each and every one of you, and presumably anybody else, the cloaks and the pajamas are largely one size fits all. Now, one size fits all is never entirely true, as we all know in real life. It does cover, sort of 2 standard deviations worth of potential sizes for a standard humanoid. Cracker, however, is not your standard humanoid. So when she puts it on, the sleeves are like super short and they end just past her elbow. And the cloak on most of the rest of the party tends to trail somewhere between the back of the calf, halfway down the lower leg, all the way down to the floor for some of the smaller people. On Cracker, it barely acts as sort of a small mini skirt.
At
So
least it's not going to get in the way, if I have to beat someone's head in. But
it's
yeah.
also a little bit smaller around the shoulder. So it's not, if you flex, it's going to rip.
I'll be hulking out in no time. Okay.
Well, it's just a cloak, so it's not like it's not like a robe, but if you
Yep.
tried to flex, it's gonna just disappear somewhere in your back muscles. Probably get swallowed up in your gluteus maximus.
So it
I
looks
didn't
like
mean that in a weird way. I
that's-
just meant it. You know what I mean.
I was going to gloss over it, but okay.
Yeah,
You want to lean in?
No, hey, look, I'm not. We've already had a rather eye-opening Polish lesson there. Everybody heard that, right? Like what Daria said the first time. We all, yeah. Whoa, that's kind of early for some of us. Dropping bee bombs everywhere.
How do I look?
Awesome. Like a champion.
Certainly something.
All right. I'm sure everyone will buy that I'm with you.
Could just kind of tie the arms around your neck and
Like
Kinda-
a superhero cape. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could do
like
that.
a cape.
Like a short
Okay.
cape.
Yeah. But
Sure.
should
Why not?
we try to find Euripides first, or should we go to the prison since we're in the good side of the town?
Do we need something from him?
I don't know. You were talking about talking to him, so
He might have information. He might also know a sneakier way to get into the poor side of town.
He is a fixer after all.
Yeah.
Maybe he could also tailor your robe. Even though you look awesome. Maybe some tailoring wouldn't hurt.
Agreed.
What are you trying to say there, Byleth?
Well, Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the washing machine did some work there. I don't know.
Don't wash wool on high heat. How many times do I have to tell you? And separate the colors from the whites. This thing didn't start out as purple. It started out as a white silk robe. Now look at it.
I know.
It goes to show wizards don't work out very often.
Yeah. Although I feel like Mealy would give Cracker a little run for her money. Maybe eventually, anyway.
So, should we go?
Yes.
Goodbye, soft beds. And I'm gonna start walk out the door.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can walk out the door anytime you want. Nobody stops you. As you do so, the magic mouth appears final time and says, "Thank you for visiting the Tower of the Cloak of Many Stars. We hope you have enjoyed your visit. Please be certain to sign the guest book on your way out."
Cracker does not sign the guest book.
Paranoid about being on the grid?
Can't write.
Well, she could put an X next to her name.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's paranoia. Anybody else signing their name? Anybody not signing their name?
I'm just gonna write. Can I write something, or is it just my name?
It's literally a guest book with a pen next to it.
Okay, I'm gonna write. Thank you for a nice sleep, also, and then an L.
Okay.
I'm just gonna write on that ditto and armor up and M.
I'm just gonna write D. And a smiley.
What have I done to you poor people that you're all so paranoid now?
Many things.
That's easy there, Tiger.
We never know what's gonna happen to this city. We don't want to leave any trails that we've been here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. Charlotte will just sign a C.
Well, you see, Governor, the reason why the whole city was burned down, it all started with some people who stayed at the Tower of the Many-Starred Cloak, who signed their names cryptically with just single initials and or left absolutely no imprint whatsoever except a demolished rack of ribs. Yes, very good. So you guys are out on the street wearing your designer clothes, which probably were not meant to be taken from the tower, but obviously, that obviously doesn't bother any of you since none of you have a conscience.
Was there a sign? I don't think so.
It's kind of implied. I mean, if you stay at an Airbnb and you left, you wouldn't take all the towels with you.
Was there a sign?
Honestly, you would be the worst guests, you people. Just like emptying the sugar from the cabinet. No etiquette whatsoever. Okay.
All right, lead the way, Charlotte.
Okay. We're
Left.
just walking right through.
You're on the main street right now. It's bright afternoon. It's probably like 3 p.m. There are
Sure.
some people who, once you get down the hill from whence the tower is situated, and you're on the main thoroughfare, there's the usual street traffic. Some peddlers, servants running around doing errands, people collecting things. There's a lot of grocery shopping, that kind of thing. There's a bit of panic in the air, but it's mostly marginal, hushed whispers.
Oops.
Obviously, the city's on high alert, right, with the army surrounding it, and heaven knows what's going to happen in the future.
Okay,
You
sure.
do.
I'll lead them to the Port District. Let's go, everyone.
Okay. You get quite a few stairs. Obviously, Cracker can't really hide her race. Okay. There is a cloak, and yes, it does cover her head in theory, but her stature, the fact that her arms and legs are exposed, it's very clear that she's orcish. There are also a few stairs for the tieflings, because although you also have cloaks, they don't really hide the fact that you're both sporting a very impressive set of horns, which can't be covered entirely. No one challenges you, though, and you don't see that many soldiers on the street. There are no patrols that you can tell. But you sense that a lot of people are watching you, and there are hushed whispers pointing in your general direction. And then there's also the buzz of the street itself. It isn't until you actually get to now, do you want to head towards, let me just pull up the map for you. So as a reminder, this is not a page with the map.
Charlotte said that we're heading towards the poor district. I thought we were heading to Euripides.
Oh,
Right.
thought-
Well, that's another question. Yeah. So where are you guys going? So just to show you, this is the map of the city. You're leaving an area that's very close to that sort of bulging round bit towards the river delta, and your options to leave that quarter or that section include heading east on the same north side of the river. Although it doesn't show it, the wall separating on the south side, separating the poor area from the rich area, which also the poor area also has that large gaping graven in the Earth's crust as a result of the volcanic activity, 80 or some odd years ago during the spell plague, as it were, which coincided with Mount Hotanel exploding. That is a major checkpoint. But there are a couple of smaller checkpoints, especially along the bridges, which are, as you can see there are 3 main bridges crossing the north and the south bank. But there are also a number of smaller checkpoints. If you look on the top half, the top hemisphere, the north bank, there are some larger houses towards the coast. And then somewhere around where that lake ends, heading east, you see that sort of curvy little bit of road. That whole area is basically a series of checkpoints as well. So as you move out of the nice part, so if you divide the city up into like fourths or sixes, the left quadrant that you're currently in, all the way in the upper left-hand corner, that's one quadrant. There's a middle section to the east of you, and then another section to the east of that, which is north of the really poor section on the south bank. So which way do you want to go? Or what else are you doing if you're not going in that direction?
so are we just going to Euripides' place?
I don't know. Can he help us at all?
Information? Movement? Maybe.
Should we vote?
Oh, wait, sorry. Is he on the way to the poor district?
We don't know where he is. We don't know.
Oh.
We tried to
Oh.
figure that out, but you didn't know, and no one of us knows. We can ask people.
I mean, sure, we could actually do that. Maybe I could flag somebody down.
I think we should go for the old prison.
Skip the Eurodip.
Yeah, since we don't know where he is, and to don't drag too much attention to us, like we already are doing.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay, we can head back to the poor district then. I have no desire to see Euripides again. The husband murderer.
He did it because you wanted it. He saved you from having to consummate your marriage with a 400-pound man.
Oh, shush, details.
Oh. Who adored you enough to give you a large dowry.
Could have been a queen. Well, okay, we're heading back to the poor district. I think that's majority.
You were robbed of your birthright. You were destined.
I mean, maybe if Zanice really, 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 really wants to see Euripides again.
No.
Oh, poor Euripides. So poor, so maligned. All he
I
did
don't
was
think
try
you
to
want
make
to
everybody
see
happy.
you, Charlotte, either.
Wow.
Well, that's fair enough.
Did I miss something? What happened? I forgot what happened now.
Charlotte started she tried to make him into a scapegoat.
Oh, right. Ah, yeah. You know, power is a funny thing. It makes people forget where they come from. Huh?
Well, anyway,
Charlotte,
off to the
Charlotte really did sort of get into. Yeah, that Charlotte really has sort of let it get to her head.
But
I
who
think-
knows? Maybe Agamemnon's torture will grant her a bit.
Oh,
Her
who
mentor.
knows? Maybe. You're never too big to be tortured in this game.
Yes, so off to the gutter.
So, you guys are on your way back to. So, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go through the checkpoints across the bridge first? And remember, there's also ferrymen, right? So it's not just that you have to take the 3 bridges. The 3 bridges are primarily for heavy traffic, but there are barges that go back and forth between the North and South Bank, as well as water taxis. The water taxis obviously are a little bit more private and a bit more expensive, but you could also try to hitch a ride with one of the larger barges, which don't just carry goods or even livestock, but they also carry the poor and the unwashed, right? So,
Ooh. I've always wanted to travel in a water taxi.
it's literally just a boat. It's called a water taxi, but it's just a boat. It's just a
But
little
I'm sure it
rowboat.
looks fancy.
Well, some of them, there are very fancy. Some of the nicer ones look like, pleasure gondolas, but for the most part, they're just serviceable rowboats with a very able single person who's rowing. A single person rowing, and if it's a larger one for, a larger group of people or a more commercial version, then you might have 2 rowers and maybe somebody who's both steering and also calling direction.
Well, how much do they cost?
It depends on which method of transportation you choose to employ.
The cheapest? Just the cheapest rowboat?
Oh, well, the cheapest, sorry. Oops, don't look at that. The cheapest individual one?
Wait, there are boats that are just for one person?
Yes, there are boats that can take 1 or a couple of people. There are boats that can take a larger group. There are boats that are communal so that you're sharing with other people that you don't know.
Okay, how much would it cost to find a boat that would take all of us?
And just you?
Hmm?
Okay.
Just,
Yeah.
just all of us.
So just a medium-sized gondola is more than sufficient, and that's just a one-time trip across. It'll be 2 silvers.
Oh, well, that's pretty cheap.
It's typical to tip.
Oh, like a copper?
Don't be stingy.
1 copper piece.
These people have to work for a living,
Let's go. I will pay.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you,
Oh
Denise.
my God.
Thank you.
It's 1 fake gold piece. All right. Cool. All righty then. Yes. You've got yourselves a nice water taxi. The fellow who is rowing, he can do it himself. He asks you all to step in carefully. He gives you a hand. He's an old, salty dog. He looks like he might have been a sailor a long time ago, but he's obviously retired now. He's got more gray than dark in his beard and his hair, what little hair he has left. He's a bit wizened, but he's obviously very strong. You look just a brief glance and you can tell his forearms are like thick ropes covered in muscle and a few tattoos. He smells like he's been drinking since early morning, but that's not unusual for this kind of work, is your experience. And Charlotte, specifically because you have experience with, these types of people from the docks in her days, your days walking around the docks, hawking oysters and clams and things. You immediately feel comfortable speaking to this fellow. If you want to use Charlotte's natural voice, if you want to put on airs, that's a separate issue. And it's very easy. You climb in. It's not particularly clean. There's a little bit of water slushing at the bottom. There's a faint whiff of, rotting seafood. You think this boat has been used to transport things besides people, but you pay for cheap, right? So cheap is what you get. There are no cushions. It's very uncomfortable, but it's only a sort of a 10-minute, sort of 15-minute total departure and arrival effort, including embarking and disembarking. And he basically just rows you across the width of the river. There are no major issues because your army, quote unquote, your army has put the city under siege, including a blockade of the river upstream as well as the delta mouth. There's no real commercial traffic like there normally would be. So normally there would be loads of barges with lumber and other raw materials as well as foodstuffs coming down, and that would cause potentially be a hazard. But because there is no traffic, it's pretty quick and easy going across the river. You do occasionally see a dead corpse float by. They appear to be humanoid or humans, actually, and very often they seem to be dressed in some kind of combat gear. One or two of them look like they could be Neverwinter soldiers, but for the most part, you're only seeing dead corpses with the insignia of the mercenaries that Lord Kazandar had hired for you. Not sure if that's an ominous sign.
Cracker takes note but doesn't say anything.
Yeah. I mean, you guys did tell them not to start the shenanigans without you, but at the same time, they had to establish the corridor, and that almost certainly didn't come cheap, as it were. Okay, so you arrive at the opposite bank. As you disembark, you do see patrols, and one of them stops and looks at you. There's a slightly pompous air to this particular corporal's demeanor. He's got 3 other men in his entourage. None of them seem to be particularly well paid. None of them seem to be particularly happy about their duties. And aside from the corporal, who looks like he's had a long life of excessive eating and drinking, the other 3 look skinny and almost a little bit underfed. The corporal says, "You there. What are you doing here?" Don't all speak up at once.
Cracker says nothing because she knows she's pretending to be a servant, slave, something.
Ooh. Speak up! And your delay causes him to get a little bit more alert, and he starts putting his hand toward his short sword on his rather enormous girthy belt. And the 3 soldiers, although they don't look like they're particularly interested in what's going on, they start getting a little bit nervous and fidget, and they tilt their spears that they're carrying toward you, and they lift their shields up a little bit.
We're on a water tour of the city.
That sounds ridiculous. City's under siege. There's martial law been declared. There's no unauthorized movement. Who gave you permission to cross the river? Speak up. And he starts
The-
reaching inside his collar, and you see him pull out what appears to be a small metal whistle on a chain.
Milady, weren't you visiting your uncle?
Yeah.
And off in the distance, you hear bong, bong, bong,
That's
bong,
great.
bong, bong, bong. Nice job there, guys. On that stressful note, before somebody's water breaks, let's just put it that way, we're going to take a little 10-minute break.
Yay. All right.
Okay.
Back with coffee.
Okay. Back with coffee and a little bit lighter, hopefully.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good luck, everyone. You'll need it. Okay. Bye. Hi. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
hold
my earrings.
Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
You guys are here somewhere, presumably. And there are going to be guards. Let me get some guards. You've got mail. Go ahead and let me give you initiative so you can all roll. The initiative counter. Here we go. Okay. And Sophie, since you so kindly got us into this mess, would you also roll for the guards? Keep in mind there will be additional guards potentially.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is the guard roll. They rolled a 6.
Okay. We're missing somebody.
My roll is this. 11.
Who's going first between you and Byleth?
Charlotte.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay.
She's the
Ringleader.
yes.
Why?
Instigator.
She's the queen.
The queen.
I don't want to be queen no more.
You don't want to be queen no more. It's not exactly a title you can just sort of pass off to somebody else. I mean, you could abdicate, but I mean that's a whole other thing. Lilith, you get to go first. What would you like to do? There's 4 of them all together. They're all very close. You're about 20 feet away from each other.
I'm gonna say this is some kind of misunderstanding. We just visited old lady's uncle.
I mean, not very. You feel like that's not going to be. It's not going to be accepted at this stage. He's already blown a whistle. But go ahead and roll. It's not going to be a very high probability of success. Is basically what I'm trying to warn you of.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of looks blankly at you. The corporal fellow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Charlotte, you're up.
Oh, well, fuck it. How many guards are there?
4 altogether.
4.
1 sec. Yeah, I'm giving you some. We'll put the guards right over here. He's not as fat as I made him out to be, but you get the idea.
Is this to scale?
Would you like it to be bigger?
Just that it says we're 40 feet from each other.
Okay.
So, is that accurate or? Well,
Sure. Hang on. Let me just get the earthquake out of the way, and then you guys can be a little bit closer. Sophie, you're giving me stress.
you give me stress.
I give you stress. You give me stress.
Well, you give me stress.
We can go at this all day long. This is not getting us anywhere. Okay. I'm going to put this on the map just so I don't have to keep pulling at it. Right up in your face. How's that? Happy now?
Perfect.
That's good.
Okay.
Whoa, where'd we go?
Happy now?
Yeah. I like to see how I'm gonna die. It's great.
Obnoxious.
So, should I do my turn?
Do you what?
Should I do my turn now?
Yes, please.
I'm gonna get some distance. I'm going to
Mhm.
run.
Nice. Just leave everybody else holding the bag.
Over here.
That's all you needed was like this. Is this to scale so I can run away faster now?
Yes, and I'm gonna fire some magic missiles at the fucking corporal. The
Fatty.
fat corporal. Or whatever.
His name is Fatty McFatson.
Okay, take this. Eat this. Pew! Pew! Pew!
Corporal McFatson dies.
Yes.
All right.
And the
That's
other
sweet.
3 just look at you and their mouths drop and their eyes open in horror.
Charlotte's not in the mood. She's gonna surrender.
Okay, Violet.
Oh. Charlotte, what have you done? I will do the same thing. um,
What have you done? I'm going to do exactly the same thing.
and go here, and I want to fire a chromatic orb um, at this guy.
Why waste your time?
Um,
Just fireball him at this stage.
um, no, not yet. Um, with acid damage, I guess.
Okay.
Hey, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
He melts on the spot. It's just like you hit him, it explodes, and the next thing you know, it's not even like a body that collapses. The whole thing just sort of melts into a puddle, and there's nothing left except some smoking armor. Anything that was organic or soft tissue is gone. The skeleton is slowly still melting. The skull is collapsing in on itself. The other two are just, oh, you can smell, those of you close enough can smell the urine as the remaining two
Oh.
guardsmen start relieving themselves inadvertently.
And I'm gonna move 10 feet.
Why can't we be good? All right, Mia Lee.
Did we hear where the other whistle was coming from?
You can roll a perception check. It's nighttime. You're in a big city. There's water nearby. It's going to be tough. Do you have do you have a reason to be extra good at it aside from being an elf?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Okay.
20.
Right here.
Where is here? Okay, from down there.
I mean, maybe it's a little bit farther away. It's not that close, but it's in that direction.
Then I am going to move
For those of you who missed it, it's over there.
up to Byleth, and I'm just gonna use a firebolt against this guy.
Oh, they're not even the Zentrand.
3.
Okay, you hit him in the chest, and he falls down. He's stunned. He's kind of on fire. He's like patting himself out. His face is burnt very badly. You can see part of his nose is missing. You've definitely burnt off one of his eyebrows and an eyelid, and so all you see is a bulging eyeball there. He's screaming in agony, trying to put the remaining fire out before it burns the rest of his face off. Cracker.
All right. Well, I roll my eyes and I rage.
You realize you guys have become wanted
I know.
you
This
become
is the
criminals,
worst.
genuine
Go with the
murderers now.
flow.
It's not
Oh.
even justifiable. This is Jesus.
Yep. I pull out my great axe.
Go with the flow, Laura said. Oh,
And- and I
boy.
rage.
Welcome to 2025, everybody. When the party goes bad.
We were already
no.
bad, weren't we?
I don't know. I don't know if this is the right thing to do.
You were
So
walking a
They
tightrope,
should have
but
just minded
now
their business.
they should have they were minding their own business. They're the city watch. They're supposed to be asking people questions when they get off shady looking boats in the middle of the night during a military lockdown.
oh my god.
They were just doing their jobs.
This is the worst.
Oh.
Cracker's raging. And this is so hard because I think would Cracker attack?
Yeah.
Probably just would attack. Oh, Cracker.
What else are you gonna do at this stage?
Tell him to run and just like hold my action, but I'm gonna attack. So I'm going for this one because that one's on the ground, but this one could run away. So I take a swing at this one. How'd that go? So 17,
Yep.
9 slashing, and I turn around and I take a swing at that one. 16, 11.
Ah!
Okay.
And he just, before he dies from his wounds, he actually drowns in his own blood. And you watch as the blood just spurts out of his neck and then comes out of his mouth and then comes back into his mouth that he sort of gargles on it. And then they both, the first one just was cleaved in half. The second one is
Super.
dying and dead.
So I'm going to go to here and say, there goes your loyal guard, queen.
Hey, you guys didn't need to kill the others.
Oh
Uh-huh.
my God. What the
That
That's
was your
right.
They were
choice.
witnesses.
Yep. Once you
I feel like
start.
we did not have. Okay.
I mean, there was a point
We
there.
did not
There,
have
you,
that much of a choice.
yeah, there's nothing worse than leaving witnesses.
I didn't know he was gonna go down so quickly. I thought he could take a punch.
So what? Drag it out for 3 rounds and somehow that's better?
Do we just leave them there?
Well,
Do we
I
have
don't know,
time
but it's
to-
Zanise's turn.
Oh, sorry.
Are you not gonna clean after yourselves? Oh
Okay.
shit. Are you not
it-
gonna clean after yourselves?
So that's your action, right, Daria? Just to be clear.
Yes.
Okay. So she's asking a question. She's used her action. Everybody can respond individually, but it doesn't allow you to have an ad hoc meeting. So everybody can individually, bilaterally respond to Daria. To Zanise, or they can make a general comment that everybody else can hear. But you can't respond to. Byleth can't respond to Mealy. Byleth can just make a general comment
I'm just
or
gonna
respond to
say,
Zanise.
let's throw him in the water.
Okay. Anybody else want to say anything?
I'm going to
I
nod
think
my
we should get
head.
out of here now. Before more guards come.
Anybody
I
else
nod my
wanna say-
head at I nod my head at Charlotte. I agree, but it's her mess. She should clean it up.
Okay. Lilith, any thoughts there?
Nope.
Mealy?
Ah,
Okay. Off in the distance, you hear more whistles. And they seem to be coming from different directions. There's even one from the opposite bank now. Lilith.
Can I hide this body under the stone using mold earth?
Oh. Choose a portion of dirt or stone. If it's it's not loose earth. So this is a cantrip. Just so you know, obviously
Yeah.
cantrips are not that powerful. There are more powerful spells that have similar effects. So you won't be able to excavate paved cobblestone like this is.
Okay.
You can mess up the ground for sure.
I won't do that. I will start. I'm gonna move instead. I'm just gonna skip that and move in this. Let me see how far I can go. So I moved from there to there. I'm gonna dash instead.
Okay. Let's just leaving the bodies behind. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Charlotte.
I shall move here and I'll touch the corpse and I'll cast invisibility
Okay.
on the corpse.
Okay. Can you post it for a sec?
Sure.
So it specifically is only usable against on a creature, which I don't agree with. It should be usable on an object, but that is how the spell is worded.
It's a
The
creature.
The corpse was, when it was alive, it was a creature. It is now an object because it's a corpse. If
Oh,
you were to somehow
cool.
animate it and it became a zombie, it would then be a creature again.
Oh my god.
I know.
Oh my
I know.
god. Well, okay. Where was
I
I? I was
know.
here. I won't go forward. Instead, I will use a. I'll use a telekinetic shove to push one of the corpses closer to the river.
What, the 10 feet?
I know.
10 feet. Isn't telekinetic shove 10 feet?
I think it's
So-
5 feet. You can post it.
It's going to take you a long
5 feet. Uh,
It's
oh,
going
wait,
to take you a while to get there. It's like 35 feet to the edge of the.
listen. I'm just going to say to the party, listen, I don't think we can move these corpses to the river by the time the other guards come. Either we leave now or we have to deal with more guardsmen.
Okay. Well, everybody's got, since you've made a comment, everybody can respond real quick.
Well, they were pretty easy to dispatch.
You're planning on wiping out the entire Neverwinter militia?
No.
Hey, I mean, this is you guys can do whatever you want. I mean,
Call your thief.
Well, I can try to conceal them a bit, but I agree.
agree with what?
I agree with needing to go.
Okay.
We need to leave.
Mealy,
We should leave.
Zanice.
I just roll my eyes.
I'll let you do that for a free action. Anything else you want to do?
No.
I'd say you've done it so often now that Zanice is proficient in rolling her eyes as a bonus action. Special
Yes.
bonus action, roll your eyes. All right, Ida, down to you. Any thoughts, comment,
Let's leave.
eye rolling, shoulder shrugging?
No.
Okay. All right, Byleth, it's your turn.
Yay. I think I will cast darkness on the on the guards. On
Oh.
that guard, I think.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that it's
Interesting. Post it.
like
Post it.
this.
Post it.
I
Do it first.
will.
God,
Like this.
it's like,
So
yeah,
that they're a
it
bit-
sounds great, but let me read it so I can make sure that you can do it, as opposed to I'm casting invisibility on an object. Okay. Point you choose. So you can choose any point. It doesn't have to be the actual target.
Mhm.
Okay. 15-foot radius. Are they all within
Yeah, I
a
mean
15-foot radius?
it
Yeah,
makes
okay, yeah.
sense to have it like this.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so there's a great big globe of darkness sitting there now. Not suspicious at all.
No. And
I'd buy it.
then wait.
That's always been there.
That's just how it is. And then I'm gonna go here. Or here. I can't do this. I think that's fine like this.
It's always been there. Don't you remember? That's been there since the very beginning. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty. I mean,
Nothing to see here.
yeah, nothing to see here. Not suspicious at all. Combined with a whistle, a little bit of
Well.
blood draining down the cobblestones and on the slanted cobblestones heading towards the edge of the pier there. So the wharf. So there's a little trail, murder trail. Okay, very good. Mealy.
I think I'm just gonna dash.
Okay.
Get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. Where's Dodge?
Yeah. Right. That's 60 feet.
Okay. Cracker.
Well, I'm joining her. I dash to here. Because I can do 80, but I'll go there.
Okay. And Zanice.
I'm gonna dash.
All right. Everybody roll a D20 and tell me what you get.
3.
17.
4.
20.
All
Fun.
right. Okay. Well, the good news is not everybody summoned a guard. Who rolled above 15?
I did.
Good. Each of you who rolled above a 15, roll a D8.
7.
4.
Okay. Well, you'll be pleased to know that some guards arrive from this direction. Some arrive from this direction. Oop. Uh-oh. And the earth
Oh,
moved. There we
earthquake.
go. Earthquake. And you can see some guards on the opposite bank. And they're all blowing whistles. Ida, roll a d20. Well, everybody who rolled a group of guards, roll a d20 for perception checks for them. So you want them to roll low, by the way.
19.
Mm,
Oh, which one were you? Which number were you, Ida? 8?
7.
7. Okay, so these guys, they can't see through the globe of darkness, but they can hear you shouting at each other and running off into the distance. The ones down here. They're over there. What's that globe of darkness? I think that's always been there. You sure? Anybody else roll something? 14?
I did 14, yeah.
And which one were you? 8?
4.
4. It's pretty dark. It's pretty far, so they don't see you exactly, but they can see some shadows. You know, there's some lights here and there. I think I see them running along the esplanade. And the other ones, I guess, don't see you. Who rolled this? Who rolled the 8
It wasn't an
No.
8.
for the direction? Wasn't there an 8 direction?
No.
No.
Am I just making it up?
Yep.
Really?
7 and
So-
4 only.
mhm,
Oh,
Mhm.
so there's actually two groups of guards, not 3.
mhm.
Okay, well, that makes my life easier, and yours, presumably. You don't have to kill so many people. Okay.
Hill, we would never.
your, your mind. The way your minds work. Okay. Lilith, it's your turn. Stand fight. Run. Try to confuse them, get away.
I'm
Jump in the
gonna
river.
keep moving, but only my
course.
own ordinary distance. And if I see a guard, I'm gonna ready Sacred Flame on that guard.
So, you mean attack them? So you're readying a sacred flame?
Yeah.
To attack a guard if you see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Charlotte.
I will move down here and I'll like whisper shout, Get! If you're there, save us. I'll give you my entire box of gems.
Oh ho ho.
Hippogriff.
What would the right roll be, do you think?
Let me see. Probably I don't even know.
Pick one.
Oh, something intelligence based, I think. Like Arcana, maybe.
Why would it be Arcana?
Like
I mean, if you can sell it, that's great, but why
no,
would
I
it be
can't.
Arcana?
I can't sell
Okay.
it. I can't sell it.
Come
Um,
on. Pretend you're trying to get your boyfriend to buy you a new laptop.
Oh, well, obviously, so Arcana, I think that would count like enunciating spells and like being very like having good diction. So-
You know, that's almost that's tenuous, but just barely logical enough that I might actually accept it. All right, fine. I'll let you use Arcana. There you go. How's that?
Her voice
you.
is just that
What's it?
magical.
All I had to
Wow.
do is give Sophie a real life example to motivate her.
Yeah. 12.
A pregnant moment passes, and then you hear a slight whooshing sound, and there's a bit of a stiff breeze, comes and goes very, very quickly, and out of the shadows steps Jet. Whole box of gems? Can't pass up that offer. Where would you like to go? Bit of a sticky situation. You've managed to get the whole city on alert. You know, I was in the midst of a job and you've kind of kiboshed that.
I'll apologize later. Just please save us.
Any place in particular?
The prison, the prison, the prison.
Of course. Step this way. And he steps aside from the dark alleyway, well, the dark doorway from which he appears. And you realize it looks like the doorway to a typical shanty building, much like all the other buildings around here. But as you approach it, you feel a tingle and you step through and immediately feel a chill, and you arrive at the sewer point just below the prison.
Ah,
The rest of you just see Charlotte disappear, but Jet's still standing there, sort of graciously semi-bowing, like an obsequious doorman to a very high-end club, and just sort of waving his way into the doorway. Byleth,
Oh, okay,
you,
okay.
you
I'll
want to cast a
also go
fireball before you go
for
and
it.
just blow the hell out of everybody and
Um,
cinematic ending to the
I had
movie?
I had another plan, but I think this is way better. So I'm going to follow Charlotte.
Okay. Mealy?
I'm pulling.
Okay. Cracker?
Yep.
All
Just
right.
following.
Zanice?
Following.
Okay. These guards are going to move their maximum distance, which is somewhere around to the darkness. The other ones on the other side of the embankment try to follow by following the curve of the embankment. They start to lose you, though, of course, mostly since most of you have already disappeared. The only one left, I think, is Lilith, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Lilith. Presumably you're following, but I don't know for sure. I don't want to speak for you.
I do follow.
Ida decides to stand her ground. You shall not pass.
Would be very cool though.
Yeah, it would be so cool that I would give you a half a chance of surviving it, but only half.
Yeah.
Okay. As you step through, you all arrive at the same location: wet, dingy, very smelly. A couple of floaters, and I don't mean bodies, go by, but you seem to be out of harm's way. There is no sound aside from what you would expect in the sewer. There is no open portal that continues to exist once you step through Lilith. And Jet says, "Now, I've held up my end of the bargain." And he reaches out his hand, obviously expecting to be rewarded.
Here, just take it. I'll throw the box at him.
Okay. So remember, just keep it on your inventory just so we know what happened.
Okay.
But but obviously notate that you no longer have the gems.
Okay.
And if you can just separately post it to me again, just as a reminder of what you had,
Okay.
that'd be great. Pleasure doing business with you. I'll even throw in one free trip. Not an emergency one like this. I can't do that very often. I had to use up a special, well, let's call it a special device that was given as a favor. But if you need to get around one more time in the city, I can make that happen free of charge. Just give me a little bit of notice. And use this. And he hands you a paper bird that's unwritten on, so you can utilize it anytime you need.
Thanks, Jet. You're a lifesaver.
Oh, you are too kind. My queen. And he tilts his head, bows, and then steps back into a shadow and once again disappears.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's not just what you thought he was, is he? Assassin's Creed.
Loyalty from the underground. Interesting.
Ooh. Queen of Thieves.
Dun, dun, dun.
Matron of the Wharfs, aka she goes by the name Lady Fishfingers.
No.
Knew that was coming back.
Got a stranglehold on all the cut purses, the cutthroats and all the illicit seafaring trades and smuggling of goods into the city. She's got her sticky little fish fingers and all the
No.
dirty seafood
You-
pies.
You're ruining it. It sounded so cool.
Oh God.
Gonna have t-shirts made up and everything.
Please God.
All right, so you're in the sewers beneath the prison. You've murdered in cold blood 4 Neverwinter guards. What better place for a group of ne'er-do-wells and evildoers than prison itself? But of course, no one knows you're here. What do you do? And it's getting to be late. It's taken you a while to get across the city, especially since although you had your cloaks, you were trying to be a little surreptitious anyway, just to avoid extra scrutiny. So at this stage, it's dark enough that probably the curfew of the tieflings is in effect.
We should
I'm
try
gonna
and
take-
get them.
Sorry, one at a time, please.
Go ahead,
Ida?
Ida.
Yeah.
I'm
you-
gonna take my armor off.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to take you a while though. So
Yeah,
What,
but I guess that's the only way to get through the sewers, right?
yeah, it's tough for you specifically, but yeah. So 10, we'll call it 10 minutes. I think it might take longer for you, but actually we'll just call it
Cracker
10
will help.
minutes.
Cracker will help
Okay.
her. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that'll definitely shorten things. Anybody else want to do something? Henrietta, what were you saying?
I was just saying that we should head on, but we'll
Mhm.
wait for Lilith to
Okay.
remove her armor.
I'll just
Laura?
cast prestidigitation on everyone just to clear them off.
Well, you may as well wait because as soon as you cast it, if you're still standing in the same filth, so as soon as you cast it, you get dirty again. Yeah.
Okay.
Laura, you seem to have dropped out of roll 20. I don't know if that's the case for you on your end, but
Oh no.
I don't see you in
Oh,
roll
I
20
can
anymore.
refresh it.
Okay. Just to let you know.
Hmm. I was seeing the new map and stuff, but refreshing.
Okay. So you guys, Lilith is now ready she's unencumbered, as it were. She's ready to roll with the rest of you. It's dark outside.
Guess we should just power through.
Just get back in there.
Hmm.
Okay. So you pop your heads up. You're in the courtyard again. You're gonna have to hide. So I'm gonna put you guys back in the courtyard. I'll assume that you guys are trying to hide, but you guys are gonna have to give me some rolls.
I'm also gonna send Ruva the spider to see if you can see any guards or
Okay.
anything around.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and have your spider roll a perception check. Your spider is not particularly good at long distance vision.
No, probably not.
In fact, long distance for the spider is probably about a meter.
It has 30 foot of dark vision.
That is some fucking spider.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, who hasn't been in a room with a spider and just like walked right up to it? All right, fine. According to Raw, it has 30 foot of dark vision, which is enough for it to see basically up the walls and around the courtyard for part of it.
But it rolls a 2, so it doesn't see much.
There you go.
Yeah.
Karma's a
Karma.
bitch,
Yeah.
which is apparently also the to be verb in Polish. So karma is to be, which actually sounds quite philosophical. And doesn't really sense anything, but it's a spider. It's an intelligent creature in the body of a spider, and as far as the intelligent creature goes, it doesn't sense anything out of the ordinary. But who's to say what's out of the ordinary? The prison is clearly on alert because the city is on alert. You haven't set off everybody in the whole city, but you are in the same quarter, where the murders and the whistles occurred. So people are aware here. There's a bit of a hubbub. There's some running back and forth, nothing too serious. But the lights are on, people are walking around, and there's some shouting across the courtyard. You guys have to get from your little location, which is hidden out of view for the most part, to the doorway where the tieflings are being housed.
The most important thing is that Byleth gets in there.
We'll
She
just
knows
stick to
that,
we'll stick to
sorry.
the same. Yeah, sorry. We'll just stick to the same initiative to save time. So, Ida, would you like to go first? Do you have anything you'd like to try, or suggestions, or comments you want to make to the party?
Try to stay in the shadows, but there aren't that many shadows, so
Yeah, the courtyard's reasonably well lit. You can try to hide in the shadows. It is possible, as long as
Yeah.
it's obscured, partially obscured. So it's dim light. But it's not going to be, guaranteed
no, I'm gonna try to
stealth.
go in the shadows.
Okay,
Stealthy.
you want to roll?
Yeah, and I want to use my inspiration.
Excellent, well done. All right. Ooh, that was
Ooh.
a smart call there. That could have ended badly. Yes. You stumble briefly. There's a clatter as you kick a couple of pebbles along the cobblestones, but the next thing you know, you kind of recover yourself and you disappear back into the shadows, and no one seems any wiser. Well done. You're at the doorway now. Do you want to try to use your action to open the door, or do you want to try to wait for everybody else?
No, I want to try to use my action to open the door.
Okay. It's pretty heavy. It's, you can do it, but it's definitely designed for like 2 strong men to do. So go ahead and give it a strength roll,
Um,
or strength athletics if you want. I doubt it makes much difference for you. Your luck's run out.
yeah.
Charlotte.
Okay, so this time I'll cast invisibility on myself. I'm
'Cause
not.
You are definitely a creature.
And I'll follow Lilith.
Okay, yeah. So you'll still have to roll stealth, but you'll have advantage automatically. And I'll make some adjustments with the DC because you're visually impossible to see. So,
Okay. Yeah.
all
15.
right. Okay, yeah. Do you hide in the shadows, or what are you doing
Yeah, I'm hiding in the shadows, I guess.
on top of that? Okay, as opposed to striding confidently across
Yeah.
walking up to the guard, standing like 6 inches from his face and like making funny faces in front of him.
I'm blowing a raspberry.
What was that? Was that you? Oh, no, it wasn't me. We've lost Laura. I assume she'll be back momentarily. So we'll go ahead to Mia Lee.
Okay. I'm also going to try and hide in the shadow, and I'm also going to use my inspiration.
Excellent.
Let's see. Put on another and stealth. 12.
Well, the good news is you successfully get to the doorway. Some guards think they see something, and there's a conversation between 2 of them that you can hear. It clearly seems to be that you triggered somebody to be on alert, but they don't spot you. The implication, obviously, is that the next person's going to have a harder time. Cracker.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Sorry.
That's okay. Same thing. I'm gonna use my inspiration and rinse and repeat. And here goes my stealth roll.
Good luck. Oh no.
Double 8s.
Double 8s.
It's like my lucky number.
It is your lucky number. Now, does a barbarian have any particular abilities that would make it a little easier for them to hide or be stealthy?
I was looking through there and I don't see anything.
Right.
I think basically I can sense stuff,
Danger sense.
danger
Yes.
sense, and feral instinct. That's
You
my
wanna
danger
post them?
stuff. Okay. So I can't be like
Surprised.
surprised and incapacitated by the feeling of surprise.
Yep.
I can move a little quicker.
Danger sense.
I'm trying
Yeah.
everything. That's about it. I can talk to animals. Got any animals?
There you
in-
go. Yeah. Well, some
Woohoo.
of these guards might be animals, really,
Yeah.
at least socially. What's that? I definitely saw something this time. You'd better go down and have a look. Me? I went last time. Just shut up and do it. All right. and you can sense with some dread that somebody is approaching as you hear their clodding footsteps of leather and metal and the banging of a spear butt as it is slowly pacing toward you down a flight of stone steps to your position. Sinise,
Okay.
your turn.
I'm gonna Byleth and cast invisibility on both of us.
Ooh. All right. Okay. Yeah, you're both invisible now. Laura, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So we skipped your turn, but we'll come to you now. You're invisible.
Yeah.
Zanice is invisible. Daria, are you going to sneak across?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to roll with advantage?
10.
All right. Well, the good news is that one of the guards is no longer there because he's in a stairwell walking his way down and he's making enough noise that he won't be able to hear you. So the other one doesn't notice you. He's already paying attention externally. Go ahead, Laura.
I can't open Roll20.
Okay. Would you like somebody to roll
It
for you?
doesn't load. Sure.
Would you like to nominate someone?
Oh, I don't know. Denise can roll for me.
Okay. Daria, would you like to roll for
Okay.
Laura?
Uh-oh.
Well, you do have a stealth bonus, don't you, because of your dexterity? Laura, do you remember if your character has any other bonuses to stealth?
It's 1.
Okay. Well.
But wasn't I invisible?
Yes, she rolled. So Daria rolled a 3 and a 5.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
So Byleth manages to bang her horns on scrape them along some of the stone. And then she trips over a rock and is unable to restrain herself and goes, ow, 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 ow. Boy, you guys are just not having a good day when it comes to guards. Huh, what are you all doing here? Obviously, some of you are invisible, so he doesn't see those. But the rest of you who are not invisible and are hiding in the shadows, he's able to see you now because he's very, very close by and you're not really obscured anymore.
Cracker comes out of the shadows, but pretty
Ooh.
much stays way over here, away
Whoa.
from where they're trying to go.
That's an ominous scene right there.
Yeah, but I'm wearing that fancy purple dress still with a funny little Superman cape.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I make subtle, like, kind of gestures, like, come hither, half work style. And I say, just trying to drum up some business. It looks like a cold night.
I did not think you were going to go to, because you normally never role play that kind of thing, and that is quite a turn, Yvonne. Well done, you. Okay. Well, I'm going to. Normally, this would presumably be something like persuasion. It's basically seduction, right? Which we don't really have because, but I guess it would be normally persuasion or maybe performance. But in your case, I'll let you use intimidation.
Well, okay. I mean, I could use
if you
I could
want.
use persuasion as well because they're both the same for me.
But don't you get an automatic advantage on intimidation checks?
Oh, yeah, well I do. Okay. There it goes. Intimidation. I'm intimidatingly sexy.
Yes.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
god, yes you are.
As it turns out, this guy has a bit of a fetish for really big green-skinned women that could bench press his body weight.
Yeah.
And he goes, you're not supposed to be in here. Okay, we'll have to keep it quiet though. Don't tell my boss. And he sort of wanders over to you and he starts undoing the top couple of laces on his breastplate and takes off his helmet. Lilith, I don't remember if you were. Yeah. So who's invisible? Daria, sorry, Zanice, Charlotte, and Byleth, right?
Yeah.
and everybody else is technically just hidden in the shadows but visible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Lilith. So you're kind of not so hidden anymore. What would you like to do, if anything?
I'm just gonna stay quiet and hope that Cracker solves this.
She's going to resolve it all right. Okay, Charlotte.
Okay. So, oh my god. Okay, I'll just stay quiet too.
Okay.
If I
Lilith.
try to open the door.
Well, that's not quiet. It's a loud,
Yeah, I
kind of
know.
squeaky metal heavy door. So yeah. Do you guys know Godzilla?
A little.
Yeah.
Do you know the original Godzilla movies from like the 60s where Godzilla makes this weird screeching roar?
Yeah.
Do you know how they made that sound?
No.
When they were trying to create, like when Toho movie studios was trying to create the very first Godzilla movie, there was somebody was driving into the studio parking lot, and they have a great big iron gate, like one of those really big iron gates for like a large parking lot, and it swings back and forth on hinges, and it's old and rusty, and when they open it, it makes this sound, and they audio taped it and used that for Godzilla's roar,
Whoa.
and that's how the door sounds when you open it.
Oh
Now you
man.
know.
Okay. All right, Mia Lee.
Okay, I am going to cast message to
Okay.
Cracker to
Okay.
say, get him out of here.
I
Can I
think I know
reply?
what it. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
post it. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, it's posted.
Thank you.
Well, that's the goal.
All right, Yvonne, it's your show.
Okay. So where's my exit? I think I got a little bit turned around here because I was the last one in and I wasn't moving across the courtyard.
Yeah. So you're trying, based on where your token is. Your token's on the left side of the map. You need to be on the right side of the map, and the guard basically is now in front of you as he's come toward you based on your invitation. Well, I guess you had a turn, and then he came
So
toward you on his turn. Yeah.
my way out of this courtyard, but not towards the door, is this exit or is it
that's
down here?
no, there's a main entrance here, and you guys basically came in through a sewer grate in this corner.
Oh, darn it.
He walked down some flight of steps and came out on this side. There's no door there,
Okay.
but just pretend there's. Well, there was a door in here inside one of those kind of doors.
Is he a bit shorter than me?
Oh, everybody's a bit shorter than you.
Okay. So I say really quietly, I really like a dance first.
Anybody else get
Come-
chills?
Mhm.
Come a little closer.
Well, Yvonne, this is a side we've never seen before.
But I can see what's coming.
It's Cracker all the time. I mean, I have
I
to play
know.
Cracker.
I know. I love it.
It'll be a rogue next time.
This is fun. I like it. Okay. Okay. And he, like, his eyes like get really bright, big and wide, and he gets this big silly grin.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's obviously making moves to comply with your request, but he will do that on his turn.
Okay.
Is there
Well-
anything you want to do in advance? You want to
I know what
Okay.
I'm gonna do, but
Would you
I
wanna-
have to wait
yeah.
till he's nice and close.
Would you like to share it with the
And,
rest of us first so we have an idea?
Yeah. We're leading up to the dirty dancing lift, the grapple toss, and leaving him prone, and then I gotta body slam him.
Nice.
But,
Very good.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's where we're headed.
Okay. So I'll just say that you can do that as like a delayed action or something. Ready to action. Okay, Zanice, your turn. You're invisible, watching the whole thing.
I'm just
Suppressing
staying
laughter.
quiet.
Yeah. All right, the guard comes over willingly, gets very excited. He opens his arms wide. He leans his spear against the wall and his shield. And he says, "Oh, you are so beautiful. I'm going to make you the happiest woman in the..." And go ahead, roll your attack.
Okay, so this is a grapple attack, so it's a strength, right?
Yes.
Just a strength check. And do I have advantage?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you automatically have advantage, but I'm
Yeah.
going to give you an extra bonus because he's willing
23?
basically.
Ooh.
And as he says, "Come to me, my queen," and you lift him up, wham! And the rest of you just hear the sound of his neck breaking on the
Oh, God.
cobblestones and the body just going completely limp. And as the light starts to go out in his eyes, he says, "Totally worth it."
And I drag his
Good job.
body down into the sewer.
Splash.
Out with the
All
trash.
right. Well
What a woman.
done. Yeah, very nice. Well done, Yvonne. You get inspiration for that.
Woohoo.
Very nice move. Okay, so the other guard has not noticed the commotion. He is too busy trying to actually do his duty. And since half of you are invisible anyway, and the rest of you were still hiding in shadows, including Cracker, who executed her maneuver in the dark, orchestral maneuvers in the dark, you are able to all sneak your way over to the gate, and with the combined help of Cracker and everybody else, you successfully open the gate, no worries, and sneak in to the tiefling's sleeping quarters. Oh, sorry. The guard is not with you. He is gone. Inside, you see a scene of some sobbing tieflings, some angry arguing back and forth across a table between several of the other younger tieflings. And you see your previous contact, Bariel, trying to calm everybody down. And then he sees you walk in and turns and looks at you. "Where have you been? You've been gone a whole day. We thought you'd be back by now."
We have been working on getting the cure.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, Sulfura, don't know if she has a spy amongst us, which is possible, or she just got suspicious. But during the day, some of the men came in, and they took away Matron Mother Onana and Lollipop, as well as my wife, Flama. And we think they've taken them to the Tower Keep. Did you think it was going to be so easy? Just walk into a library, copy a spell, wear some pajamas, and go to sleep, eat some breakfast, and then
It
bing,
was
bang,
all
boom.
too easy.
It was all too easy.
I had hope.
Mm-hmm.
It's not impossible to have a spy. Come on. What should we do?
Well, Onana, well, she's not aware if you leave now, so she can be blamed for that. So I guess all of you can leave, and we will go and save her, and Lollipop, and your wife.
Well, as soon as we do anything, they'll execute all three of them, presumably. And that's not to say that they won't try to kill the rest of us as well. And where would we go? We have to fight our way out of the city?
Sewers.
And then what?
Join the army outside.
I love my wife, Flama. We've been through everything together. We've known each other since we were children. I can't leave her. If you're going to rescue her, I'm going with you. As for the others, I think some of them won't want to see Onana or Lollipop hurt. Others, they may not care. It'll be up to you to convince them if you want them to leave.
I mean, we still have the free trip. Maybe we could use it for escorting the tieflings.
I don't know.
It was a good idea. It could still work if you get in there.
Do you know how to get to the tower where they kept?
Yes, The tower is just on the other side of the compound. It's not impossible to get there. But the problem is, none of us have been inside Lord Vidar's chambers, but we're quite certain that it sits atop the main barracks room. Now, the guards are spread out everywhere, and they're not always all in the barracks. But there's always going to be somebody there off duty.
Well, as proven, 5 minutes ago, we're not very stealthy. So getting through the compound without alerting the guards is going to be hard. So we can try, or we can fight our way through.
Well, I will say this. 2 of you are tieflings, are you not?
They are.
So it's not impossible for you to blend in with the rest of us. And then as for the remaining 4 of you, well, if you've got some kind of illusion magic or something else, all we need to do is make it look like you're part of the tiefling group. We don't have to start a riot to get over there. We just need to have a reason.
Okay.
I think you are probably more powerful than Flamma was one of the most powerful of us. Sulfira is one of the most powerful of us. But with your help, I think we can probably get there. Especially if the big one stays behind.
Cracker points to herself. Me?
Well, seeing as how you're not going to be here next week anyway.
I could use a little extra sleep.
You can guard the other tieflings here. So they don't
Tremendous stress. Yeah, okay.
send word.
Just go
if
off on
there's
your
a
own.
spy here.
Go off on your own scouting mission, attempting to seduce more guards, and then body slam them into submission.
Clear the whole prison of all guards this way, one by one.
Yeah.
Pick them off.
Had the time of my life.
Exactly.
I feel like I need my armor back.
Yes, you can put on your
Yeah.
armor.
Yep. Take everything you need out of the bag that you're gonna leave behind with me.
So, are we fighting our way through? Are we concocting some sort of an excuse? Are we using stealth? Are you going to tell the rest of the tieflings to leave? Convince them to do so?
Good questions. I think maybe Cracker should stay here and barricade the door. And while we get to the tower, and then everyone can leave when we have lifted the curse and freed the prisoners, the captives, the hostages.
I like that plan.
All right. I agree. I think that's the safest option. I'll have a word with the others, and I'm sure they'll agree to it because it satisfies the bloodlust potential, because we're not saying no, we're simply asking them to defer, whilst appealing to the more conservative ones to be a bit more cautious before we take any drastic, irreversible steps. Good. Well, I suggest everybody prepare themselves for the fight to come. Regardless of how we get across the courtyard, it's going to be tough once we're inside, because there's no justification for us being inside the barracks, and certainly not inside Lord Vidar's chambers, where Sulfira and Vidar reside and perform their dark rituals. I only hope that it's not too late to save Mother Onana, Lollipop, and Flamma. Is there, I suppose, in an extreme circumstance, they might call us to duty, which would give us an excuse to leave, or draw some of the manpower away from the prison to help protect the walls. Would you be able to signal your troops outside to begin the diversionary attack?
We can signal them. The only thing is that if the tieflings are going to fight them, they are going to be in harm's way. and also our soldiers.
Well, I think we can probably design it so that the tieflings are away from the prison before they rebel, at which point, amidst the chaos, in the darkness, especially if, as you say, you've got this friend of yours who can help them get out, they should be able to subdue the contingent that typically would accompany them to their destination. During the day, it's a company of men, no more than 12. In this case, it might even be less if you can manage to make the feint sufficiently extreme enough that they feel they need to divert their men somewhere else.
Sure,
For
we
the
can
most
try.
part, fighting off the contingent isn't the real issue. It's always been trying to get away once we've done that. Being stuck inside the city, having no place particular to go, not knowing the countryside, not having access to horses or other modes of transport, that's been the limiting factor. But getting us out, if you've got a way out, then I think that would cover most of it.
Yeah, we can do that. So we need to talk to Jet. And we need to send word to the army. Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you very much, everyone. We shall resume next week with the Great Tiefling Escape.
Very
Uh,
exciting.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
thank you very much, Yvonne, for a most memorable session.
I actually had another plan, but this was better.
What was your other plan?
Well, we do have a letter in Dalin's backpack from a dead Centrim to his wife. So I was thinking about kind of, well, we were just looking for someone who could tell us where his wife lived, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, that's good. Save that one.
Yvonne, it was so funny when you said that I had like a dance first. I could see in my mind what was coming, and
Yeah.
it was diabolical.
Yeah, that was really a classic moment. Well done, Yvonne.
That was
Yes.
fun. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a lovely week, everyone. Good luck with everything, Yvonne. And
you.
we'll see you in 2 weeks. And everybody else, I'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
It was a lot of
Alrighty.
fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
thanks.
you.
Okay. Take
Thanks.
care.
Bye.
All
That's
right.
really fun.
Bye.
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 Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.